Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Tonight is Wednesday, October 28th. This is podcast number 9 of the year. Today, we are going to be talking about Valorant and Super Smash Brothers. And this is your chance to ask any questions and also get any answers about what's going on for those tournaments. Super Smash Brothers is right around the corner. We also have a Valorant test tourney running next weekend. So I believe that's all full. As of right now,
I gotta check the registration. Crap.
yeah, I believe it's all full.
It's actually exactly all full.
Yeah, so we might take one or two more as a standby, but I believe right now we have our 16 teams. But we just want to run a test tournament to see how this is, and then we'll go from there. But yes, we're going to start off with Valorant first. We weren't sure what time Coach McGee was going to get back from the game that they just finished about half an hour ago, less than that. So thank you for being here, Coach McGee and Coach Kennedy, as always.
And then you'll probably have to track down questions in chat. That's flying by too fast for me to see it.
Yeah, no worries. I'll call them out when I see them. That's my job. I don't do talking. I love these ones. I don't talk. You guys talk, and I just call out questions.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks. Well, so first of all, everyone, I'm Coach Kennedy. I'm at Glenwood High School, and I run the Valorant program at the state, as well as other things until they stop me. And Valorant is fast approaching. You want to pull up the rules or nah?
On the screen, no.
Okay.
The command is there.
Is it? You want to test it in chat?
It already works.
There we go. There's Val rules. So Valorant. These rules are still a work in progress because this is really numbers dependent on how this is going to work. It's really numbers dependent. But Valorant is going to be $40 a school. $40. Gotta replace that per team. Thank you. Code of conduct. It is up to your coach or supervisor to make sure you guys meet code of conduct because we have to require a few things to keep this above bar here for us, which is all the name hiding must be off so I can identify usernames. You need to have show corpses and show blood off. It's a high school game. Treat it as such. Things that many of you who come from Counter-Strike will do and I need to yell at you about formally. Please don't spray bodies. Just please don't. Quote, tactical crouching is the nice way of me phrasing this. Is things that certain other people here have yelled at me about in the past. Where we need to make sure we're not doing that after every kill, please. I will
wonder who that could be.
I will find the DM from last year, from the third place match of one of my players did it once, and he says, never do it again. I'm like, thanks, Dalton. But overall format. So it's going to be 4 open sign-up tournaments and 1 invite-only playoff tournament. It's going to be the typical group stage to bracket stage. Because I'm trying to mirror this closely to the professional scene of Counter-Strike and Valorant as possible, there's no weekly season format. It is individual weekend tournaments. So I'm going to be doing it the same way. The 4 weekend tournaments are on the bottom of the first page of the document. December 5th and 6th, January 9th and 10th, January 16th and 17th, January 23rd and 24th. Then the top 8 teams after those 4 weeks go to our playoff tournament that's going to be on the 6th and 7th of February. We're giving points for group stage placements, points for bracket stage. You can read them there. And those will keep track of points and give you guys our top 8 after our 4 tournaments.
Yeah, and if you look at the points structure, it's mainly structured so that because it's 4 games, it's heavily structured on points for group stage, not necessarily for the championship, because we don't want those teams that make it to the finals to have such a great advantage. We want to see some good comebacks, some spicy, last tournament actually meaning something rather than all top 8 being situated. So we really wanted to focus that. And just to clear it up, it is 4 tournaments that you must play in. So you sign up, essentially your $40 is $10 a tournament for your whole team. You play in the series of tournaments, and then the top 8 teams out of those will then go to the finals.
And a way to think about it is I'm actually cramming in more games than you'd see in an actual regular season crammed in this time. Because at minimum, you're playing 12 games. That's if we have exactly 4 team groups and you don't make playoffs. At minimum, you're playing 12 games. At maximum, with playoffs and everything, it's like 100 plus. Because it's all best of 3 series in playoffs and bracket stage. And our invite only tournament is going to be a bit different, but I'll look at the formats. So open season or open sign up format, it's going to be 4 groups. That number is up in the air dependent on number of teams. First day of group stage is, first day is group stage until best of ones, round robin. Second day, we're taking top 2 from each group to go to a bracket stage. There'll be best of 3s there. No, we're not doing double a limb best of 3 group stage because one tournament did that, and it was a 5-day group stage. So I'm not doing that. I don't hate myself that much.
Yeah, there's a question in chat. Grim asked, what happens if you win the whole tournament? Well, then you earn your school 30 points or your team 30 points for in the overall standings.
Yeah. We have tiebreakers in here for all that kind of stuff. I'm using challenge probably, unless something changes radically, but I'll use challenge to get all the brackets out there. It'll be all the random seeded. I'm going to take team ranks into account to seed the first tournament, just so we don't have like one group with the top 4 teams on accident. And then after that, I'm seeding groups based on the number or the placements from previous match.
Yep.
The playoff tournament, which is invite only after all the teams are done, is double elim, best of 3s, top 8 teams. That might go long.
Long weekend there, Coach Kennedy.
Yep. Hey, finals are best of 5.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, totally. I don't sleep anyway. So, allowable agents and maps. This is really relevant because Riot just rolled back a patch because it was so bugged. I don't know if any of you saw the bug where if you walked into an Omen smoke, it showed the flat pixel map of Sage's character skin. So your entire screen would be the flat pixel map of Sage. You wouldn't even see the smoke.
Nice.
That's the patch got rolled back. Also, it got rolled back because you could see through smokes.
Small indie dev, remember?
Yes, indie
Right.
dev. So I'm following 2-week rule like pros do. If something's added, if a agent or map is added, they're 2 full weeks must pass before they're live, which means for our test tournament, Sky is not enabled. Map selection is all there. You can read it if you want. In general, each team gets a ban, and then you pick. And now that there's actually 5 maps, hooray, we can actually do reasonable pick bans for best of 3s. Rosters, 5 players, 2 subs. Schools can have 2 teams. Because Icebox has been in casual for 2 weeks now, Icebox is allowed, Sky is not. Schools are allowed 2 teams. With subs, what this means is if I have team A or if I have team 1 and team 2 for my school, if a player plays a single match on team 2, they cannot play in team 1 for that tournament. So keep your subs in mind.
And that changes, is that just per tournament? So the next tournament they can swap out or no? Or they're locked in once they play a game?
Yeah. Yep, they can swap around.
Okay.
And then I'm going to change that for just that day. Because if you make bracket stage with team 1 and team 2 doesn't make it, there's no point in restricting that guy. So if your 2 teams are playing in bracket stage, yeah, kind of stop that. But essentially, once you play for a team, you're locked in that team for the day.
So
and if it hits midnight, you cannot change it.
So to clarify, let's say I am player 6 on the bench for team 1. I can still play with team 2 on Saturday. And then because I'm listed on team 1 and 2, how would that registering like what team they're on before the tournament work?
That's fine in my mind. They can play on both. Subs.
In other words, how would we submit the rosters for the beginning of that tournament if I wanted to be able to play both?
You're submitting 7 players. I don't care who's the starters or who isn't. You submit 7 players. If they're on 2 rosters at the same time, that's fine. They can't play on 2 rosters at the same time. So if you play on team 2 on day 1, you're locked on team 2 for day 1. Day 2, you can go to any team.
Okay.
And I'm going to clean that up. And once again, the test tournament is also going to help me clean up some format stuff here. Because we have a Valorant test tournament on the 7th that I have a full list of teams for now, which are Glenwood, Oswego East, George Washington, Plainfield Central, Niles West and North, Naperville Central, Lane Tech, Springfield, Naperville North, York, Plainfield North, Lyons, Massac, Conant, and Oak Lawn. We're all playing in this test tournament, 16 teams. It's not for prizes. It's just for me to test the format and see where things go stupid.
It's for the clout.
A little bit of clout, that too. Usernames. I've already had to yell at some players for usernames. Can we just not with it? Especially with Riot ID. You can just change the Riot ID when you feel like it.
Yeah.
Let's just avoid the username stuff. Match reporting, it's all in there. Observers. With how observers work in Valorant, as it is right now, you cannot have observers. There are no side-specific observers, so you cannot have observers. If they add that, I'll reconsider it. If there's a bug found and people abuse the bug, I just ban the guy on accident.
Nice.
Help!
Nice. Good job. You just like...
I deleted the message. I'm sorry.
Yumi-Zumi.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I clicked the wrong button.
Did you unban him?
I realized I just deleted the message.
Oh, okay.
Oops. BTTV got the messaging there. If an OP bug is found and I abuse it, or someone abuses it, we find out about bugs like this later. We have to just react accordingly, and I'm going to follow the pro scene for that because I can't be the end-all be-all judgment. Riot, when there's a game-breaking bug like that that's abused, Riot will generally release an informational or saying, "Hey, then this isn't allowed." Like, remember when Vi was banned in Pro League or Pro LCS for like 4 weeks last year, Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna follow Pro League for that. Just all pro plays is being kind of our benchmark here.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just a case-by-case basis, and if something was clearly a cheating type exploitation, then that might be subject to consequences at that point.
And if you knowingly abuse a bug that you have not reported to us, and you're using it to get a really unfair advantage, that's going to be an issue. Once again, case by case.
Right. And so if it's a bug known beforehand and you use it, then yes, you'll be in trouble. But if it's something that no one knew about at that point, then that's something.
Because, for example, there's a wall on Ascent that's basically just paper thin, and you can basically throw a Sova drone through it if you feel like it. That bug is still not fixed, by the way. So, yeah. You can stream your games on your own channel. You can stream all you want. I actually only got there for streaming rules. Streaming, I would really recommend at least a 120-second stream delay because that gets you a full round. I am not accountable for stream sniping. Don't stream snipe. But recommend at least a 120-second delay. You can stream your own player perspectives. You cannot have an observer in the game.
Right. So no spectators at all, but you can stream from your own players' perspectives to watch what's going on. We also had a question above from Cool as a Cucumber. Is there any more room for the Valorant tournament?
Nope.
The test tournament is full. I'd say let's take 1 or 2 standbys just in case, because I know there's a couple teams that were trying to get together, and just to make sure we have a full 16 and not a 15 or a 14, because stuff happens by next weekend. We'll probably take a couple more teams, but will be standby. So it was first come, first serve. Someone also asked about, are coaches needed? Well, you need coaches to sign you up and register you. And your coaches...
I'm only posting signups in coaches chat because I'm really tired of getting 16 signups from the same school who don't read that it's a coaches only sign-up form.
Yeah.
So from now on, I'm posting signups only in coaches chat.
And your coaches don't have to be like watching you, depending on what your school's policies are for that. But your coaches need to be available to be contacted in case we have an issue with players. So they should be available on Discord for most of the day, those 2 days. So please let them know.
Also, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, late rules, because we've had this come up. This is an IHSA standard that all games adhere to, not just Valorant. I know this is a precedent set in League and Overwatch. If you are more than 15 minutes late, you forfeit the series. Like, it just is what it is. because we have to keep things rolling. We have to make things reasonable and have to let people get a reasonable amount of time together. So it is what it is. If you're more than 15 minutes late, you forfeit.
And that's not an empty threat. That has actually happened last year when we did that Valorant test tournament. That absolutely happened. So, like, seriously, punctuality is important in any game, no matter what it is. Like, I'll mention this with Smash later too, but some of these are on such a tight schedule that if you're 15 minutes late, you're throwing off the whole night. So you're going to take that L.
Oh, for Valorant and Fortnite especially,
Yeah.
you will just, or for Smash and Fortnite, you will just throw the entire night out.
Right.
And the reason I'm doing the test tournament as well is so that I can get bearings on is my approximate round timing correct, and what's my pacing, all that kind of stuff. So my test teams are really helpful for me determining if these rules work.
Yeah.
Coaches.
We had another question.
Okay.
So someone, Terrace, asked, what if your coach is not in Discord? If you're from Taft, your coach is in the Discord, so you don't have to worry about that. But all coaches should be in the Discord. Your general manager or coach must be in the Discord for us to contact. Another reason why we're only posting those sign-up sheets in the coaches' chats so that they actually fill it out. We want them to be involved. We want them to be around. So please make sure they are in there. And I believe I just had 2 more coaches join today that heard about our tournaments coming up. So,
and a coach thing specifically, this is actually in other games as well. To model once again off the pro scene, coaches are perfectly allowed to be in their team's voice channel when they're in game. To model pro scene, you should not be talking during the game. Coaches in a professional setting in Counter-Strike and Valorant are there as analysts before and after a game and during a pause. You are not there to call for them. You are not there to shot call them. You are not there to tell them how to play the game. Once they're in the server, there are exactly 10 players in the server. They're the only 10 who are interacting.
And that's important too, because especially for the teams that are taking themselves really seriously and doing quite well and are going to be potentially in a LAN atmosphere in any game, your coach is not going to be able to talk to you then. So if you're relying on that all season and then you get there and like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do without him yelling at me, then that's why we practice. So just get that practice down, be able to be there autonomously without your coach in the middle of a game. That's why that rule exists. You can't do it at a LAN final.
Yeah, you basically have to operate as the 10 you are. That's it.
Yeah. There is a slight chance that we would have a LAN final for this. Very slight as the way it looks now. It's not looking good for all of us, but
8%.
It's we're hoping to have a LAN final for Valorant and Smash, but that might not happen if our numbers don't go down. So please wear a mask.
We're trying. I want to get it organized. It'd be awesome, but it can't happen. Justice, you're misunderstanding here. The test tournament is just 16. The full tournament happening later is however many we can get. The test tournament is just for me to get an eye on how this format works and test how this is going to function. This is not for the entire season. This is not season signups.
I did see a question earlier that I wanted to clarify also. Somebody was worried about whether these matches were casual or comp because they didn't want to affect their SR. Remember that, or MMR rather. Remember that Valorant is custom games. So it's not just like Overwatch and Fortnite or whatever. You're not having your actual skill rating adjusted when you're playing custom games. I don't know. Does it give you XP in custom games in Valorant, Coach Kennedy?
Nope.
No, it does. Okay, on Overwatch it does.
It's just customs.
Yep, so it's just customs. It has nothing to do with your rank whatsoever. And you won't have to worry about that.
And lobby hosting, I'm not too particular on. It is who it is. I'll make some rule probably about it's the higher seed. But lobby hosting really doesn't matter that much because there's only like 3 settings you can actually change. Now we have a server browser. I have to add some rules about allowed servers, but we all should be playing on the Illinois server anyway. So it shouldn't matter.
There's an Illinois server?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
That is Chicago, right?
Riot servers are in Chicago, and I get 8 millisecond ping to it.
8
My ping in Counter-Strike is 2.
That's nice.
So streaming, yeah, we're gonna try to stream as much as we can. It is what it is. We gotta make it happen because I want to be able to just run games and not have to stream it. Because running a tournament and streaming it, as I've learned and ignored multiple times, is really hard. And generally, I have to pause the stream to go answer at a crisis. So yeah, I don't do that.
But he will have a team.
We're lining up casters right now, so we should have casted games all day, which will be awesome. And yeah, I think this test tournament's going to be a good run to see how Valorant's going to go. I mean, the fact that we already have 16 teams signed up is really awesome. And I think I'm hoping we're going to get at least 32, if not more, for the full tournament.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. I'm really hoping that we get a lot of signups in because I believe in the potential of us making things happen here. That is all of my jazz for Valorant. Are there any remaining questions that I can answer on Valorant?
Oh no, I see the Smash Kids coming.
Oh yeah, the Smash Kids are here. We're ready, Coach Kennedy.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it. Please no.
Oh yeah, Fire Philippe. Definitely message us in the Discord and let us know if you want to cast them. We're looking for a third chair, possibly a fourth to rotate, so people can
probably throw an analyst desk together eventually.
Flip Wrigley TiVo on the comms.
Oh god, and I don't get to actually talk about the game that I love because I'm too busy running it.
Imagine.
I'll play analyst desk later.
Well, you can be talking in between stuff, in between games while you're.
I mean, we'll see how the test tournament goes to see if I even need to really worry about that.
Yeah.
Because if it just runs smoothly and I just got to report scores, I'm cool with that.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds good. If you guys have any other questions about Valorant, hit us up on the Discord for the Valorant chat. We'll definitely answer any questions there. And again, you can reach out to Kennedy on Discord, and you will be able to help you out with any specific questions relating to Valorant. But any of us will help you out with any general questions.
I'm on PC, or I'm on my desktop like all the time, and I can answer questions constantly.
I was gonna say, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm very busy. I'm a very busy person doing a lot of things. So
right.
yeah, it's awesome.
I think it looks like we're wrapping up. I think it looks like we're about ready to get started into the Smash rules. If you guys are looking for the rules so you can follow along, the command is in chat. I'm typing it in now so you can follow along with the rules as we go through them. I also need to open them as well.
We ready to go?
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, I'm excited about all the commenting regarding Smash in chat. I'm glad you guys are here to chat about it. So I'm just going to go through, like Coach Kennedy did, the rules document, talk about a couple of things that need to be explained. Some of it's self-explanatory, and then sort of provide some justification behind some decisions that were made. So we'll just get going through that. Each school is allowed to have one team, and the team may have between 1 and 10 players. So depending on what fits the needs for your school. So that's why we did the pricing is $10 per student, so that if if Glenwood, for example, only had one player, they would have $10 to play. Whereas Springfield, if we had 10, we would have $100, but we have 6, so we'll have 60. So it's totally based on how many you have, 1 to 10 to represent your school. When match days are going on, which are Mondays for Super Smash Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what we went with. Your name on your Switch needs to help your opponent know who you are. So you can see in Article 1, number 1, letter D, that students must change their name. It says for the duration of the season. That's the simplest way to do it. If you really want it to not be your name when it's not a match day, that's fine. All that matters is that on match day, your name follows that format, which is your school acronym and then your gamer tag. For example, mine would be SPS Wrigley. That way, when your opponent joins a lobby, which we'll get to in a second, and they see that name, they're like, okay, I look at the schedule. I'm against SPS Wrigley. They're in the lobby. I'm where I'm supposed to be. It will help cut that confusion down quite a bit. That being said, when it comes to setting up matches, there will only be the 2 people competing in that lobby. Just like Valorant, only the teams. Smash, only the 2 players. Matches will all be 1v1. If a player or coach would like to appeal that having no spectators, they just need to get written consent or a Discord message or whatever from an IHSA staff member. As we'll get to in a little bit, there are obviously concerns with online, with Switch and Nintendo's support for their online strength. So we want to take down the amount of interference that might be there. I believe that it actually is down to a science that every additional person in there adds a frame of lag. And I think that I was told that one time, somebody confirmed that was the case. I believe that's true. So we want to get that all the way down so that the online experience isn't adversely affecting the gameplay. When you're setting up the lobby, the person that is listed as the home player for the two will set the lobby. That's the person that's listed first on the scheduling when you see the schedule. So the lobby is to be public, but it will have a password. So the lobby would be called IHSEA match number, and then whatever number you see on the schedule for that week. If you're match number 7, you would call the lobby IHSEA match number 7, and your password would be 2020-2021. You get 8 digits for a password. Hopefully that goes down on people joining lobbies, but at least the name of your school and your gamer tag and the lobby name and password should get you exactly where you're supposed to be and make it so that other people aren't joining. So whoever's listed second, it is their responsibility to search for that lobby name and then input the password. Person listed first will make it. The other one will search for it. They'll join. Make sure your opponents are the other person that you see on the schedule. The lobby host will change the lobby settings to be private once you have both in there and both confirmed through Discord that you're that person in there with you. And then nobody else can join. It'll be really easy. You'll report scores for your match in the Smash Scores channel, which I don't know that it exists yet, but I do know... it does. Okay, perfect. So
yeah.
Yep. So that got added. You'll report your scores in the Smash Scores channel, and all you need to do is say what your match number was, who your opponent was, and then put the game score with your score first. If Coach Kennedy beats me 2-1, I would report match number 3. My opponent was GHS Rogue Leader, score 1-2. I say my score first. That way we can easily keep track if both people are reporting what the score actually was. And then you do not need to report your stocks. Stocks do not matter. They will not be counted. Okay? So just the total game score, and stocks don't matter.
Man, I can't beat you in Smash.
We saw that at the Capitals Classic last
Yes,
year.
we did. Hey, I tried. I won a game.
Fair enough. And then lastly, as far as setting up matches goes, all match communication should occur in a DM on Discord or in the Smash chat. Just to say, can't find my opponent, or hey, are you who I need to be messaging? You'll talk to them through Discord, please. That way, if there's any issues, we can get screenshots, we can get all that taken care of, and we can handle those problems. Okay. Let me pause for questions that you guys might have seen.
Yeah, there hasn't been too much. They're just talking back and forth right now.
Perfect. So that's how the match gets set up. The big questions are going to be coming when it comes to the online, making sure online is good, and we'll get there.
Yeah. The big thing, just to know, someone did just ask, like the IHSEA Discord, correct? For every tournament that you're part of through IHSEA, it should be handled in the IHSEA Discord, not in ASAF, not anywhere else. You can still participate in all of the other tournaments and all the other leagues, but obviously for our tournaments, you communicate through that. And I know for Smash players, a lot of you might not be on Discord, unless you're, some of our top tier players, and that's where the community is. But make sure you guys let the rest of your players know they need to join Discord. That's how everything is done, communicating with your opponent as well as reporting your scores. So if they're not on Discord, start to get on Discord now, because it does take a while to get verified, to get all the information in there. So make sure that you have it, because we only have about 3 weeks before the season starts.
Yep.
So
correct.
And those looking for the Discord link, head to the IHSEA website. And it's at the bottom. I think it should just be, so just head to the website and it's at the bottom.
Awesome. Arena settings are fairly standard. You can look through those. They're competitive standard settings, 3 stocks, 8-minute timer, and then the rest is pretty obvious. Now, character selection. This is the first topic where we had to figure out what was going to work for an online-only atmosphere. This decision was made based on what we're seeing from collegiate leagues and what they're doing right now and what's working or what didn't work. So the character selection for our matches will be double blind. That means that you will do your character selecting, it'll have you loading, and then you go in the arena, and when you hit start and it shows both your characters, at that point, you may not change. Okay? So after the first game, I play Dr. Mario, Coach Kennedy plays Mario. I don't know who you even play. I don't remember.
I don't play the game.
Okay, fair enough. So we get in there, we show our characters, we play game 1. What you can do then is, if you just stay in the lobby, your opponent will know, oh, they're not changing characters. So even if you choose to not change characters, it is actually advantageous for you to go to the character selection screen anyway and then come back in as that character. It is double blind. You are under no obligation to tell your opponent who you're going to play at any time. That is not a part of it. Okay? So that matchup knowledge and being able to play against different styles of character, that will definitely play a role in our season. But it is just the simplest, fairest way to do it in this online atmosphere where there will be like that. It's harder to communicate than sitting right next to somebody. The lobby host, whoever was hosting, must give adequate time in between games to allow their opponent to switch if they want. You can't just auto start the next game. Okay, if that is an issue, contact a staff member. We will deal with it. And then I already mentioned players are not required to disclose what character they're going to be doing. Okay, so there's a great question in chat that actually got asked by a coach in our Discord also. It says, if there can only be 10 on a team, can there be alternates?
That's the question I had as well. Because it's kind of weird with being an individual game, isn't it?
Right. So since it's it's an individually based game, the problem with that is that to sub someone in, they're no longer that person. Like, you can't really give them a win or loss if it's not them playing, when it's not a team game. When you have team games, it's the team you're keeping record of. And this, it's the individual. So similar to Fortnite last year, if you have to sub, if I can't play, I will automatically forfeit. Okay, if you cannot play, you automatically forfeit. The 3-0 will go to your opponent, or the 2-0 rather. However, you can still have a sub if you want, and they can play it as an exhibition match, right, but it will not count toward the overall standings. Okay, the people that are listed on your roster, they are the team for the season, and whether they're there or not, they are who's going to be on the standings. So any alternatives, I see alternatives now. I keep saying that. Any alternates will be exhibition games, but you absolutely can play them if you have an alternate to sub in and say, hey, we're taking a forfeit, but we want to go ahead and let this person play a game. Then that person would play that game. Okay. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was wondering, like, how is that going to work? So,
yeah, we are going to have some character picking mind games. Now, it's not totally random, which is our next section, which is stage selection. This has already got mentioned. There are legal stages listed there in number 5, letter C. You can see what the 7 legal stages are. However, you don't necessarily have to ban or strike. If both players say, yeah, we both want to go to Pokemon Stadium 2, awesome, start there. Okay, if you can agree on a legal stage for map 1, you're allowed to go. If you cannot come to an agreement, then we go to stage striking. So the person who's listed first on the match page, that was the person who actually set up the lobby. That person will decide whether they're going to strike first or second. Okay, so if I host a lobby, I say I want to strike first. The way that works is I will pick a map that I don't want to play. Okay, I don't want to play Battlefield. So then Coach Kennedy, as the other person, would then get to pick 2 maps he doesn't want to play. I would pick 2 I don't want to play. He would pick 1, and then the remaining map would be where we start. That's how the striking works. The first person gets 1, then it's 2-2, 1 more, and then the remaining map will be where we start. From that point on, the loser of the previous game will choose after the winner of the previous game has banned 2. If I win game 1, I ban 2 of the legal stages, and the person who lost game 1 gets to pick any of the remaining 5. And then stage strikes will be communicated through Discord, and Dave's stupid rule or any modification of DSR will not be a part of our season.
I love the way Smash rules are named and created.
I know, it's fantastic. But DSR will not be a part of the season at all. So for those of you unaware, the basics of it is, let's say I win on Final Destination, I can no longer choose Final Destination. That's not happening. If you're having trouble on one map and a person's good there and keeps picking it, you probably should practice that map a little bit. Dave's stupid rule will not be part of our season. Any questions regarding stages?
Yeah, that is such a Smash thing to do, is make a rule called Dave's stupid rule.
Yes.
Yeah, no questions yet on that, but give them a second, they might pop up.
Are there no starting and counter pick stages? Is all you're correct, Mona. It's all in one category. These are the legal stages. Okay, you will agree on one to start or not. You'll strike. Winner of the previous game bans 2. Loser picks 1. There's not like a starter and counter pick. A lot of different regions do that differently. Some have you must pick from these to start. You must pick from these to counter. We're not doing that. This is the legal stages only. And then I will just mention that Battlefield and Final Destination variants are legal if you wanted to go somewhere else. However, it can't be one of the 7 listed below. Variants with that as the background are not legal. Okay. Mii fighters are all Mii fighter move combinations are legal. Once a player has played a Mii fighter in a match, though, they must stick with the same moveset. So if I'm playing Mii Gunner at game 1, I can't change Mii Gunner's moves for game 2. I can switch to Mii Brawler, and that's fine. But I can't change the moveset of the one I've already played for the rest of the match. Okay, and then if the player requests, if Coach Kennedy's playing a me gunner and I say, what is your moveset? He must tell me before the match starts. Okay, he doesn't have to if I don't ask, but if I ask, he must tell me.
It's basically players need to really read the rules carefully because, like, Valorant and League rules really aren't that complicated. With Smash being an individual thing and a lot of loopholes existing, we had to close a lot of the loopholes, so you have to read. Like, every player must read and know the rules individually. They cannot just skate by and go, it'll work out.
Right. You can't just rely on your coach or your captain to know the rules with this. You all need to know the Smash rules. So do overlook that.
Yeah. So we can talk about this offline too, but maybe it'll be a good trial run before to just go through a video podcast. We'll do like a special event where you can show how to set up everything and how a match would go and what we would do.
Or like, I can help you make a video of just how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can absolutely put that together. There's a question that said, can you explain the reasoning behind the me rules? The me rules are actually very standard for all competitive online tournaments for Smash. This is nothing new.
The me's.
This is nothing new. You just can't change your move set for a specific type of me character in the middle of a match. You just can't. Nobody allows you to do that in any serious tournament. So we are not allowing that either. That's pretty standard. DLC, I've been seeing the name a lot in chat. Let's address Steve and any others of the fighter pass here.
One of my Smash players has been typing just the word Steve in our Smash chat the past 2 weeks.
Steve will be legal for this season. So the reason is any DLC can be played just like Valorant. 2 weeks after they get released, they're officially legal. So if so Steve will have been out for 2 weeks. He is going to be totally a part of the season. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of suddenly Steve mains.
Please no.
But if somebody comes out week 2, for example, on a Tuesday, they cannot be played for the rest of the first half of that season because it will not have been 2 weeks. The week 3 is Monday and week 4 is Monday will both not have been 2 weeks yet. So it's 2 weeks from the calendar day of release. That is when they can start being played. Okay. So that's for DLC. I don't know why. Oh, I guess it is here. I'll get to it. Let me pause and see if there's questions on characters, DLC, me, stages, anything like that before I go to the internet connectivity. How we have addressed it.
Oh no.
Oh, I think we're good. This is this system has worked.
It's not bulletproof.
No, nothing's bulletproof. Why is Yoshi's Island is not allowed technically? Yoshi's Story is. Yoshi's Island is not the same as Yoshi's Story. Lilat is not allowed because it's got the edges on the end, and a lot of places don't consider it legal. Some do, some don't. I made the choice that it's not for us. That it's just sort of our prerogative, and there's plenty of legal stages. So that one is sometimes legal, sometimes not. Okay. I'm going to move on to the internet connectivity. So first of all, it is highly recommended that y'all use Ethernet cords. Okay, just get them. It's a simple it's an adapter you get to plug Ethernet into the USB. It will make your life so much easier. If a player is feeling that lag is negatively affecting their match experience, they may request a speed test result from their opponent once per match. Okay, the player who has the speed test requested of them has 10 minutes to supply the result. If the player the speed test is requested from does not supply it within 10 minutes, they will forfeit the match. I'm going to read these rules, and then I'm going to explain it in a real-life scenario to help this. If there's a forfeit due to speed testing, IHSEA staff, namely myself, because I'll be around that night the whole time, but anybody really needs to be let know of that forfeit. To get a speed test result, players will go to speedtest.net and hit go. The individual can also use the app found on the App Store or Google Play called Speed Test by Ookla.
Would you also consider the one that's hard built into Google where you just search speed test?
I would prefer that we keep it uniform.
Yep. That's fair.
So we'll go with these. If one's on mobile, one's not. You have those options.
Ookla's good.
Yep. This will provide a ping, a download speed, and an upload speed. The upload speed must be above 5 megabytes per second. If it is, the match will continue, and the player who requested the speed test may not request another one. If it is not above 5, then the player who requested the speed test must also provide their result. So basically, this is set up where if I say, Kennedy, you're causing lag, he does a speed test.
No, I'm not.
It's above 5. I'm like, okay, never mind. It's not.
It's
below,
you.
Right. So now if it's below 5, I then need to prove it's not me also. So there's 2 scenarios that will happen. If the first person is under 5 and I am also under 5, you continue the match. Tough.
You just suck it up and deal with it.
Yep. It is both of your faults. Move on. If his is under 5 and mine is not, I will take the 2-0 victory because he is causing that problem. Okay. An example of the screenshot that must be uploaded during a speed test is included in the rule set. You can look at those. It's highly encouraged that if for some reason you have your IP address on that screenshot, you take that out of there.
Please.
Okay. Browsers only show that. The app on your phones does not show the IP address, but the browser can. So edit it, take that out. And then you can see both images there of what you're looking for. Okay. The speed test by Ookla app there, and then what it would look like when you do the thing. So here's your scenario. Coach Kennedy and I are playing. I feel like this lag is kind of bad. I am playing a combo character. I can't do my combos because of lag. I will stop it. Now there's no pause, so it would have to be like after the game, okay? And say
You can't pause in a game. You got to wait till after that game finishes.
Correct. So I can say, okay, lag is a problem. Coach Kennedy, I'm requesting a speed test. He responds, and his speed test comes back with 4.83 megabytes per second. He's under what he's supposed to be, okay? So then I have to provide my own. Mine is also at 4.83. By rule, suck it up. It's both of your fault.
I actually just speed tested my own internet.
And?
200 down.
Okay. Well, down doesn't matter. Up only matters.
92.
There you go. 92. Then I would probably not be complaining. But if he's under 5 and I'm over 5, then we would take those screenshots. We would post them in the Smash scores. Say Wrigley has defeated Rogue Leader via internet speed forfeit. There it is. Okay, and we would just do it like that. This is set up as a security for you guys' experience. We know that Smash is not great online because Nintendo doesn't support it. However, there's too big of a community in our state to ignore it. Yeah. And just because we are being forced online by coronavirus and everything going on, we did not feel that we should just get rid of the game because it's annoying. Okay, we wanted to set up some infrastructure, protect the experience for you guys. That way, if you have good internet, you're not being penalized for the experience somebody else is providing.
A point's being brought up in chat that I think should be discussed by us offline is when you do a speed test on your phone, for example, you don't have a PC and you have to do it on your phone, you're on Wi-Fi, but if your Switch is on wired, and Wi-Fi speed will be slower.
Correct. Hypothetically, I would think that any circumstance in which somebody was able to connect an Ethernet cord to their Switch, they would also have a computer there, because otherwise, why would they not have had their Ethernet? Why would they have had their Ethernet cord?
But there will be situations like that where people don't have
potentially
Ethernet hooked up computers. For example, I know a couple of my students have a Switch, have an Ethernet adapter, have a Chromebook.
Okay.
We got to discuss that later.
I feel like we would take that on a case-by-case basis. There might be a little leeway. We can look into some data on how much lower it is Wi-Fi versus Ethernet and on average and make some judgment calls. They have 10 minutes. They can go find a computer that's plugged in and run a speed test there. That's why we provided the 10 minutes also in case things like that would happen.
Or also just keep your computer next to you when you're ready to go. Is there a speed test in Switch? Wait, can you access a browser in Switch?
You can.
So could you theoretically go to Ookla's site there?
Yeah, you could just go to speedtest.net on your Switch browser and that would do it.
We should look into that.
No, that's absolutely what you should do if you only have that. If you don't have the computer, it might take a little bit extra time typing it in, but you absolutely should do that. But we're not going to use the official Switch speed test. We do need to keep the uniformity, so you'd have to go to your browser, go to speedtest.net, and do that. Uniformity is important to keep it fair for everybody reporting. Okay.
System settings have one?
We can look at that. For now, I'm going to say no unless we decide differently.
Remember, these rules are in progress. We got to work on stuff.
Yeah.
We're a few weeks out.
Yeah. Marie, if you are having problems, just DM me on Discord. I am Steinmetz Dairdrum, and I will look into it once we get done with the podcast.
Okay. Last couple things I'll mention is the scheduling and how the season will work. Matches will begin November 16th. We will have 4 weeks and then a winter break, and then we will come back on January 4th for an additional 4 weeks. So we
got to get registration out there fast.
It's live, I believe.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I finished my. See, I actually finished mine on time, Coach Kennedy.
Thanks for
mine's ready.
ignoring
It's
my
gotta be
email
tested
there,
first.
Keith.
Okay, but yeah, it's out there. People can register. But we'll have 4 weeks, and then we'll have our winter break, and then we'll have another 4 weeks to have Smash going on. One match shall be defined as a best of 3. Matches take place on Mondays, and you'll have 4 matches a night. So expect to play for 2 hours. There will be at 5, 5:30, 6, and 6:30. But the matches may begin sooner if both players are ready. So if I finish my 5 o'clock match by 5:15, my opponent did too, we can go ahead and get started. Okay, that will keep things moving. You do not have to wait until the time. If you're both ready, you're both ready. The playoffs will be on January 30th, and the top 16 seeds in the state will move to the playoffs. At least that's how it's set up right now. We will see how signups come in. It is entirely possible we end up with conferences. And with Smash, since it's individual, we could have a lot of people. We may very well have a ton of people. We might have 2, 3, 4 conferences, depending on what's appropriate. And then in general, when it comes to setting up our schedule, we will do our best to set it up so that there will be no intra school competition. I will not play against another capital.
TOing again?
No, I'm fine. I'm chilling. There will be there will be no capitals v capitals, for example, unless it gets to the playoffs. So we want to keep you avoiding, or there should be enough players that we don't have to play against our own selves. That's the idea there. But keep that fluid. We'll see. We may have top 16. We may have top 8 from each conference. Could be whatever. We just need to see our numbers, and those sign up forms. Durdrum, we decided what was November 8th.
What did you have on here?
I messaged you. Now I'm trying to remember what I messaged you.
I know, but what did you have on here?
It actually isn't on here, is what I'm realizing.
No, it was.
On the rule set?
Yeah.
Nope. Oops.
Is it on the roster form?
Yes, I believe it is.
I know I saw it somewhere.
Yep, there it is. 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, November 8th. That is the time we need to have those rosters submitted. That will give us time to set the whole schedule up. It is being handcrafted, like any good, I don't know, work of art. This schedule will be beautiful, and we'll make sure that we have good conferences and no teams playing against each other. But we do need time. So November 8th is when those need to be done by. Okay.
Well, I guess next week's my last tryout practice.
Yep.
There you go.
And I think that is the rule set.
We're going to be talking about the connection stuff the whole time. It'll be a discussion we have. So don't worry, guys. We're going to work on this.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can at me in Discord at Wrigley. You should be able to find me
in the Smash chat or in your school channel. Don't DM Abden, please.
Yes, do it in one of the appropriate channels.
Unless we specifically ask you to, just do it in the Smash chat or in your school channel. It's perfectly fine as well to have a conversation with us.
Yep. Hopefully the 10 people per school rule will keep this more reasonable when it comes to scheduling and not have 24 people. I remember the Oswego East Invitational last year. I can't remember what school it was, but we showed up with we have 6. We always do 6 for Smash. And somebody showed up with 20 people, and we were like, oh, buddy, that's a lot. I was like, wasn't it you, Durdrum? Wasn't there a lot of green?
We brought 12 and then a whole bunch of friends and everyone else. So we had a whole entourage. But no, I remember there was a school that legitimately had 20 players.
It was one of them is going to win because law of averages, they're going to be in the finals.
Yeah.
But 10 people per school should keep it fairly simple. And I think it's going to be fun. Again, we know that online for Switch is not perfect, but hopefully this infrastructure and these rules will make it an enjoyable experience for you guys. And then hopefully we can wear masks and social distance for the next few months, and come the end of January, beginning of February, consider an option for a LAN for a smaller group of people that make it to playoffs.
You're open for a lot there, buddy.
I know. I'm wearing a mask.
I'm doing all I can, buddy. I'm doing all I can, but the current numbers aren't looking great.
Luke,
well, we're going to work whatever we can here, but make sure to add us in our respective channels for Smash Valorant, or at myself, Coach Kennedy, or Coach McGee, in your school channels, and we will take care of any issues you guys might have or questions. If your question is, will I get money for this tournament? No. We don't do cash prizes, ever.
Right.
is bragging rights and occasionally a trophy.
Yep. And then Luke Stonemarker asked what schools are involved in IHSEA. Yes, it's all high schools in Illinois are eligible to participate in any IHSEA activity. So unfortunately, no Wisconsin or Indiana or local Great Lakes. They have their own organizations running their own tournaments. But yeah, so just all high schools in Illinois. And then someone did ask about if they didn't make it on the team and paid money to be in the team. That's up to your school. Your school is the one that pays for everything and registers you and everything. You're not entering yourself as an individual. You're going to your coach and he's entering you as your school team. So don't think it's like a regular invitational where you sign up yourself. Your coach or your GM has to sign you up for it.
Something I wanted to mention real quick also. So Overwatch and Rocket League, IHSEA is NASIF affiliated. So for those seasons, we are like right in that bracket and we can keep doing it. For Smash and Valorant, we are not connecting our seasons with the NASIF situations going on.
Because there's no NASIF season
right.
for them.
But I do encourage all of you for Smash and Valorant, the NASIF Compete Discord, or you can go to nasif.org and look at their stuff. They have some really awesome opportunities for Smash and Valorant. So if you want to start getting sharp for our season, or you just want to have some extra stuff to play, I know a lot of capitals have already been playing in the NASIF Super Smash Brothers tournaments. So those opportunities are out there if you want to throw some more esports in your life. But we are technically not funneling into a national tournament, and I just wanted to clarify that for these games.
Okay.
Correct.
We shouldn't hold this too much longer because I know Durham has some family things to attend to.
Oh, I'm fine. The kids are sleeping now. I'm good. Like
they sleep.
They go to bed at 8:00.
I have a sandwich I've been waiting on eating that I didn't want to be rude. So.
Yeah, I'm just going through questions. Marie keeps asking about the roster. That's up to your GM and your coach from your school, so you have to talk to them. They're in charge of submitting the rosters. Sky is not allowed for Valorant, correct?
For the test.
Good lord, guys, stop all chatting and screaming. Check Valorant channel for pinned rules. I have the actual tournament dates in there. As soon as the test tournament finishes, I'll be putting up a sign up once I get some feedback from people.
Yeah,
sign ups for the actual season, and I have a later due date for that. Our first match is like December something, first weekend in December, December 5th and 6th.
Correct, Malio. The team gets registered, not a person. Then that's up to your coach and GM. So that's our stop with the caps. Again, the VOD will be up later if you want to watch it on YouTube. It was at the beginning for Valorant.
There is a question about not being able to fill out the form for Smash. I don't know why. Because there's something on your end because we have forms coming in already, so it does work.
So the issue is this is a school account thing. So I know Sandoval has the same issue. You cannot open for certain districts. I know mine's not one of them, but certain districts make it so you cannot open Google Forms owned by other people unless you're not on your school account.
Right. So log in with your personal account to then sign up.
But
again, it should only be coaches signing up anyway, so we shouldn't have that many issues.
The form does ask at the top, please only have coaches sign this up, and please only have one submission per school. If we get multiple submissions per school, and I see which one is not a coach, I'm going to roast you in chat.
And it also it gets instantly.
If I see a non-coach submission on the Valorant forums, I'm deleting it.
Yeah.
That's tough. He has spoken.
Slatzar, check the VOD or check the rules on the server.
Okay, Slatzar, the test tournament's already full. 16 schools. Your coach is the one who signed you up. They'll know.
Cool.
Marie, I already said DM me on Discord and I will help you out.
Any questions, comments, hopes, fears, dreams, desires, gentlemen?
I'd like to eat tonight.
No.
Me too. Do your homework, everybody. I'm excited to go watch the VOD of the Overwatch match tonight. I hear it was a good one. Real barn burner.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Check the VOD. Add us in Discords. We have pinned messages in both chats with rule sets. Just read, please.
Yeah, I know it's so hard.
Before you add us to the question, that think should be in the rules, please read the rules first.
We're just going to link the rules if it's directly in the rules. So feel free to add us.
At a certain point, I'm just going to start linking the rules and I'm not even like answering the question. I'll just link the rules and you'll have to interpret from context like, yes, read the rules.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. If you guys do have any other questions, let us know. Next week, actually, we have a good guest lined up from here until Christmas. We have a great guest on every week. Next week, we're having DePaul on talking to Courtney James and one of their student players who actually was a former student of mine. He's their starting mid laner, or he was the past 2 years. I don't know if he's starting mid lane again this year, if he's swapping roles, but I'm excited to talk to him. And we have coaches lined up. We have people in the industry, a couple artists who work for some really big companies, people who own and presidents of some very big esports companies. So please, if you enjoyed our podcast today, this was just informational, but we get into more talking nitty gritty high school esports and collegiate esports every Wednesday around 8:15, depending on how long our Overwatch match goes before. Hopefully we can stop having 3-0s every week, and we can get some nice, good long matches in here.
Today wasn't exactly a stomp like the other ones have been.
I was fine with today's 3-0.
Of course you were. It was close though. It almost was not a 3-0. I was rooting.
1.63 meters, everybody.
Yeah, it's a flashback.
I know, right?
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Hopefully you learned something new. Please read those rules. Share them with your friends to read the rules. Everyone needs to know what the rules are, especially for these 2 new games. It really makes a difference. The more we have these tournaments, the easier it is. The rules don't change as much, but these are 2 new games we're running for winter and 2 different formats than we're used to. So please make sure everyone reads the rules. Have your coach read the rules. Everything. So with that being said, please wear your mask so we can have a LAN final in the winter and social distance. We would love to be able to be all together, at least a few of us, for this high-end play and be able to make an event out of it. Otherwise, everyone, have a great Wednesday nights, and we will see you next week.